Okay, well, welcome everybody to the YouTube channel. I haven't done this video in a while. I think the last time I did it was a few months ago after the World Series ended for the 2021 season on MLB The Show 20. So I'm going to go over, once again, each team, talk about it very quickly about each edition each team got, and I already simmed pretty much half the season, or a little bit less than that, into 2022, and then we'll look over at the standings and all that stuff. So let's take a look at the American League first, and we'll go through each American League team, starting with the Orioles. There's some players I have to update. Let me update it here. Let's see. Oh, yep. Okay. Yeah, I mean, some of these players are not realistic, which I'll definitely have to update. The body, the hair, and all that type of stuff. I'll do that later. Yeah, I don't think the Orioles did much. Added Elodie Rushman, I think is in AAA now. Paul Fry having a good year in 2022, 29 games and out of the bullpen, so doing pretty well for them. Michael Givens, former Rocky, he went back to the Orioles. Last year he was with me, had a very good year. He was my closer, or at least partial closer, 23 saves for me, 3.12 ERA. Yeah, he's not doing so well with the Orioles in his return because he was elite for them in the bullpen. Andrew Velasquez, he's been with them for a while now. Justin Turner, surprisingly, in the offseason goes from Philadelphia to Baltimore in free agency, and I think maybe just veteran presence probably, but through 57 games, not doing the greatest. I mean, last year in 2021 he had 15 home runs, not too bad, and kind of helped Philadelphia go to the playoffs that year, 314 with the Phillies, but by going to Baltimore, which is not that far away from Philadelphia, he's hitting 249. On-base percentage is not the greatest, neither is the slugging, but it's not terrible. Take a look at the WAR. Yeah, his WAR has dropped considerably over the past year or so. So let's take a look at the contract. He signed a one-year deal with them, $2.3 million. Okay, they got Torres from the Yankees. He hasn't played in a while. Yeah, like the Orioles, they didn't do much over the past offseason. Pretty much their big addition was Justin Turner. I think a lot of the younger guys are the focus here. Former Rocky, Tyler Nevin, Mountain Castle isn't being played much. Not doing so well. Yeah, a lot of rookies for them. I mean, they did sign some guys to minor league deals, but they're not up right now. So, Edwin Diaz. Okay, now let's take a look at the Red Sox. Okay, so pretty much the same lineup as last year. They might have made additions. Of course, they got Marte last traded at deadline last year from Arizona to Boston, and did pretty well with the Red Sox after that, but had a down year, 16 home runs, 76 RBIs, 265. So yeah, he had a little bit of a down year. So far he's hitting really well with Boston, 325, 6 home runs, 29 RBIs in 60 games. Could do better, but I don't know, 28 years of age. He has 1 year left on his contract with them, and then he hits free agency. But it appears that he's not too happy right now. But at least he's a a star player. He's an everyday player for them, but you have that outfield. Pretty good outfield. Benintendi's still there, so they got Craig Kimbrell, I think. Yeah, they did. So he's back with Boston after spending a few seasons with Chicago. Last year with Chicago was not good at all. 6 ERA right there, so that's not too good. 1-5, 6 blown saves. Not too good. 26 holds, but 2 saves there. So this year he's having a much better year. Probably one of his best years he's had in a while. Probably since 2018 with Boston. So I think going back to Boston's really helped him. Chicago didn't treat him very well. So good for him. Jesus Aguilar. This is his second year with Boston. Is Michael Fulmer? Okay, so Michael Fulmer looks like he got traded this year sometime from the Tigers to the Red Sox, and he's doing good this year. 3 ERA, 4-8 though, but yeah, he's young. I mean, with the Tigers, he wasn't bad, but he had some good seasons with Detroit, but I think he's gonna do well with Boston. I mean, look at his numbers, even though the record may not say that, but Weiss McGuire came in a trade last year from Toronto to Boston. Tim LaCastro, he's a new Red Sox player. Looks like he was a trade as well from Arizona to Boston. So it seems like Boston and Arizona are pretty close trade partners here. So 2 home runs that's the career high for Tim LaCastro, which is surprising. 299. Wow. So he's doing pretty well with Boston, actually. Another former Diamondback, Cole Calhoun, but he's on a minor league deal, looks like. So Nicky Lopez, there we go. First year with Boston, formerly with the Royals, was kind of like a bench player for them, and hitting 227, so that's not too bad. I mean, he's not a guy that's going to get on base for a while. I think he has a pretty good glove, so not too good. Doesn't appear that he's happy, but he's on a 1-year deal, so yeah, like the Red Sox didn't make any big splash moves, really. They made some minor moves because it makes sense because last year in 2021 they I think they went to the ALDS. Yeah. Zach Rex, former Dodger, they probably made a trade there. I'll have to look at that. Higashioka. Has he played yet? Okay, he did play in 2020 with the Yankees, but didn't play last year. So yeah, it doesn't appear the Red Sox made any big moves as much. So moving on to the Yankees. Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge having a down year, 262, 12 home runs. That's not like Aaron Judge. I mean, well, the batting average is, but other than that, like the numbers are low. But I don't know, maybe he'll wake up. Garrett Cole, Garrett Cole, not so good. 4 ERA, 7-3 is okay, but 86 hits. Walks are good. Strikeouts could be a little bit higher, but Gary Sanchez, how's he doing? 16. Okay, that's not too bad. Chapman's still having a good year. Let's keep moving down. This was last year, and you probably saw if you watch the postseason videos from last year, Matt Olson is now on the Yankees. He was in a trade from the the Athletics to the Yankees. He's having a good year so far. 9 home runs. Well, that could be a little bit higher, but in that ballpark in New York, you expect to see some pull home runs toward that short right field area. So 262 could be higher, but he's still young. Jason Dominguez, who one of the top prospects in baseball over the past couple years, Had a good year last year. I forget who he played for. Who did he play for? In 2020. Was it the Phillies? I forget. I'm gonna have to look. But he was probably with the Yankees that year. Right now, not doing so good. 5 home runs, 25 RBIs. I mean, he's only 19 still, so I mean, come on, like this guy, he'll get it. But incredible how young he is, and he's doing all this. I mean, take a look at that. Like 92 games, like half a year, and hit 290. Really good numbers. Let's take a look at his WAR here. He had a WAR of 4, so that's pretty good. So keep an eye on Jason Dominguez. I think he's going to be a very good player. He's already at 83 overall and a potential. So, yeah, Yankees got a real good player. So I think just right now he's having a cold start. And then Steven Matz, 2.87 ERA with the Yankees. Last year was with the Nationals. He was good. 11-2, kind of helped the Nationals make that wild card spot, but was on a 1-year deal, I think. I think it was with the Mets, and then went over to the Nationals in 2020, and then stayed on the team in 2021, I think. Or he might have been on another team, I forget. But yeah, last year had a good year. This year, so far, having a good year, 4-6. But yeah, like those strikeout numbers are pretty good, especially like. He's not a big strikeout thrower, but ERA is good, WHIP is good. Yeah, he's 8 quality starts so far, and 18 games started. So 8 out of his 14 starts are pretty good. So pretty good season so far for Steven Matz. So good pickup for the Yankees there. Nico Goodrum got traded from the Tigers to the Yankees last year. Avino is back with the Yankees. Last year had the year off. Probably, I think he was in their minor league system probably, but he's doing good. His first best year since 2019. His first year with the Yankees, so he's having a good year in their bullpen. Former Rocky, Yancy Almonte, I did not re-sign him. I let him go, and it looks like he's doing well in the Yankees bullpen. So he has a 3.63 ERA, 3 home runs in 22 innings. That's pretty good. 4 walks, so he's not going to walk a lot of guys. And yeah, Yancey's doing pretty well, even though the record doesn't show it. But glad for Yancey, and hope he does well with the Yankees. Anthony Volpe, how's he doing? Well, it looks like in the minor leagues he's doing pretty well. 2 home runs, 21. It's 277. Can't really recognize a lot of new signings by the Yankees very much. Sandy Leon, I think he was a new addition. Yep. Last year, had the year off last year, and now with the Yankees, with the Cleveland Indians in 2020 as a backup catcher. So looks like he's doing well with the Yankees, or okay. Ian Desmond, former Rockies, with the Yankees. Last year I had him up for 4 games, then I called him down just because I want to have some of my younger guys play, and hope Desi does well with the Yankees, but it looks like he's going to be on their minor league system, unless if somebody gets injured. Yeah, the Yankees, again, some of these teams, like especially in the East, didn't do much because, I mean, the Yankees were pretty good last year. I think they went to the ALDS but lost to the Astros. So looking at the Rays, I don't think they made a lot of additions either. They got Sonny Gray last year, though. So far, Sonny Gray is not doing so well. 4.50 ERA. We'll see. Robbie Ray, though. Oh yeah, that was one of their additions. Last year was Arizona, so this is his first team other than Arizona. Not doing good at all. 5.57 ERA. WHIP is way up there. 3-7 on the. So he's not doing so well with Tampa right now. Last year had some of a good year with Arizona, 4 ERA, but this year jumped up a 1.5. So not a good season for Robbie Ray. So he signed a 1-year deal. Okay, so former Rocky Jairo Diaz, I let him go. I didn't like him, even though his ERA was good for me for 2 years, but his WHIP is pretty up there last year. He's doing not so well with Tampa, so Hanser Alberto last year, well, he's been traded the past couple years. I think it was with the Orioles, then went to somewhere else. I think it might have been the Angels, and then he got traded again. Feel bad for the dude because he keeps getting moved around. He was with Texas, and then was with Baltimore for a couple years, and so now he's with the Rays, and he's doing okay. 256, 7 home runs, 25 RBIs. So Tyler Glasnow not having a good year. Like, I feel like the Rays pitching, and he's actually pitching out of the bullpen now. He's so bad. 544 last year. He had a bad year. The year before that, he had a bad year. Like, what happened? Like, not having a good few years for Tyler Glasnow. I mean, he's 81 overall, beat potential, but I mean he's going up, but I mean he hasn't been good. So Corey Dickerson is back with the Rays. Last year he was with the Cardinals and the Marlins. The Marlins were selling at the deadline. The Cardinals got him, tried to make a run at the wild card, which they failed to do. And now he's back with the Rays. Signed a 1-year deal, I think. Yep, to the Rays, and doing pretty well. 7 home runs, 31 RBIs, 271. 15 doubles, so he was with the Rays in 2017 and 2016, so had good numbers there, so maybe he can replicate that this year. He's still somewhat fairly young, 32, so that's not too old. That was a good signing by them, in my opinion. Josh Rojas, I think he came in a trade with Arizona. Surprised Arizona let him go because actually he was not that bad with Arizona, even though he didn't play a whole lot. 91 games, 7 home runs, 34 RBIs, 250. Strikeouts might have been a thing, a little bit too high, but honestly not a bad player. I don't know why Arizona got rid of him, maybe because of money issues, I don't know. He signed a 2-year deal, so he's going to be with them until after 2023, so good pickup for them in my opinion. They got Joe Adele from the Angels, it looks like, but he's been in the minor leagues, so he should be called up fairly soon, maybe this year, we'll see. Irvin was with the Reds last year. Yeah, it looks like he was in a trade. He's doing well. 303, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs in 19 games. That's pretty good for Irvin. 29. So, yeah, like some of these AL East teams are making some small minor moves, not big moves to bolster their lineup, which we'll get to in a second. I know there's some teams that did this offseason. They're coming up. But Jason Castro, another addition, was with the Padres last year. Had a good year, even though the batting average wasn't good or the on-base percentage wasn't great. But 16 home runs with San Diego, 43 RBIs, 22 doubles, which is not too bad. So San Diego, I think he was on a 1-year deal anyway. So he's been with the Angels, the Padres, and now the Rays, and yeah, so he's been with a number of teams recently. So yeah, 1-year deal. I think that's pretty much it. Steven Duggar, I think that was a minor league signing. The Giants let him go, or no, the Yankees did, because I think the Giants let him go after 2020, which makes sense because he wasn't a really good player for them. Plus, they didn't have a lot of room, so they let him go. The Yankees had him last year. He was, okay in 10 games with them, 2 doubles, 10 hits. So yeah, he averaged a hit a game when he played, a home run, 3 RBI. So he wasn't a bad. Strikeouts kind of high, 10 strikeouts, 250. So hopefully he does well with the Rays, or maybe he'll get called up. So Rose Moreno looks like he's down for them. They got some good prospects though, good pitching prospects. Andy Gaston, but he looks like he's still young. Presso, he's down, hasn't been up for a while. Looks like that will be it for the Rays. I don't think they did, other than that, they didn't really make any big moves either. So let's move on to the Toronto Blue Jays, which is, I think this is the first guy they got, which is kind of a big move. They must need a closer, and they got one, and so far he's been good for the Blue Jays. 3.20 ERA, 13 saves, He does have 2 blown saves, but he's been a good pitcher so far for them. 25 strikeouts, pretty impressive. 5 walks. Home runs could come down because that's already up. Like if you take a look at last year, he only had 3 and he already has 4, so that's not too good. But he's on a multi-year deal through 2025, so he's going to be their regular closer for the next number of years. Like, what is going on with Guerrero? He's having a not so good year. 5 home runs, 23 RBIs. Like, that's not good for him. 83 overall, and he's going down. His potential is going down, so that's not too good. I mean, he's still young, 23, but hopefully he, like last year, was a good year for him. 327 and 23 RBIs.
All right, on departure, we'll fly heading of 180 and clear for takeoff runway 10 left. United 510 heavy.
Well, looks like they called up Alek Manoah. He's not doing so well in his first year because he was their young prospect. 2.5 ERA over 5.5. That's not good. So, but you know he's still young, 24. Yeah, overall is pretty good. Blue Jays got G-Man Choi, who played with the Brewers last year. Had a good year, 308, 24 home runs, 8 RBIs, and so far he's having a good year with Toronto as well. I think Toronto needs that offense, especially with Guerrero having a down year. So Biggio could do better, but oh well. Still young, 26. Charlie Morton, who is another addition to their pitching staff. I think he's going to do well for them. Looks like he's doing good. Last year with Detroit, signed a 1-year deal, I think. He was good with Detroit, 2.87 ERA, like 215 strikeouts. That's pretty impressive. Whip is good, but you know Detroit is not a winning team right now. Appears to be, but he had good numbers in Detroit. Like I think he fit well with Detroit, but it appears to me that you know he could resign with them, and maybe they did try to bring him back, which I think they did if I remember correctly. I might be wrong, but looks like he went to Detroit, and I think not Detroit, Toronto, and he's doing good, but not as what he was last year with Detroit. But 38 walks and 68 strikeouts. That needs to come down. Well, he needs more strikeouts, but yeah, so far not too bad. Trying to see Tyler Flowers, former Brave. I think this is his first year. I think, yeah, this is a free agent pickup. The Blue Jays got Flowers, and he's doing well. 7 home runs, 25 RBIs for them. Doesn't strike out a whole lot. He gets a lot of contact, 281, which is tied for his career high. Because if you take a look at 2017, 281. So yeah, he's actually doing quite well with the Blue Jays, considering he's 36 years old and his overall is going down, 76 right now. But that was a good pickup for them. Brian Hayes, this is something I haven't noticed since the last time. Did the Pirates trade him? It looks like they did. The Pirates did trade him. I mean, last year with Pittsburgh, not so good, 173 batting average, 1 home run, 8 RBIs, but I guess they wanted to trade him, and he's hitting 216, which is not much better, but you know, 1 home run, 15 RBIs. So it looks like he's playing a little bit more, 24, so let's see how long. So he signed a 1-year deal, so it'll be interesting to see if he resigns or if he goes back on free agency. But big bummer, because you know, I think, you know, especially in real life, the Pirates signed him to a multi-year deal, so maybe Toronto will do that. I don't know, but kind of a bummer that Pittsburgh didn't extend him or anything. But Harold Castro, another new addition, well, somewhat newer, but he was with the Blue Jays last year. Let me update his hat here.
Over to Denver, Chicago Center on 130.35.
Tyrone Taylor, who was with the Brewers over the past couple of years. I think he was with them in the minor league system, but it looks like he's now with the Blue Jays. Off the bench, he's hitting .230, 3 home runs, 14 RBIs. It looks like he's injured. He's going to be out for a couple months with shoulder problems. So sorry for him, but yeah, it looks like the Brewers didn't have any room for him on the roster. So other than that, they didn't really make any big moves. There's current Rocky, well, not on here, but in real life, current Rocky Ty Block. He's with the Blue Jays system. Zach Brown, former Brewer last year, was with the rotation. Yeah, he hasn't been good. It looks like same way. It looks like he's out of their bullpen. He hasn't been good for them out of the bullpen. 5.35 ERA. Walks are up. Strikeout rates are low. So that's not too good. 14. Oh my word! 14 home runs already. I mean, he's a bullpen guy, but that's got to come down. So yeah, I mean, not a lot of additions other than Corey Knebel and all that. Like again, not a lot of big moves like from the big splash free agents. So let's move on to the White Sox, and I'm pretty sure they didn't make any big splashes as well. Hector Neris, I think. Okay, so that's one notable one that they got. Not doing well with Chicago either. Hasn't been a good bullpen pitcher for the past couple of years. Last year was bad for them. I would say ERA around 5. This year, 4.5 ERA. Yeah, so not a great pickup. Alex Colome, in real life, current Rocky, but on here, looks like he was with the White Sox last year. He was good in 4 games, 4 innings, 6 strikeouts, but looks like he's down in the minor league system for them. But yeah, Josh Fuentes, okay, that's another notable addition. I decided not to bring him back because, I don't know. Yeah, I kind of liked him, but at the same time, though, I didn't have a lot of room for him when I was planning to rebuild, and obviously I'm in my rebuild mode, and I'm letting it sim out by itself. But okay, last year not so bad, 16 home runs, 50 RBIs, but he struck out a lot, 110 games. Well, actually, no, take that back. He doesn't strike out a lot, but I just wanted to move on from Josh Fuentes. I feel like he deserves a chance somewhere else, and right now, 221 with the White Sox, a home run, 9 RBIs, so maybe he can help them. Looks like the White Sox are trying to bolster up their. Oh my word, 742. Yeah, Thornburger's never. Well, last time up with Boston, he was bad. 7.70 ERA. Yeah, he's not doing so good with the White Sox. Let me fix his head as well here. And once again, we'll look at the standings once we're done with all these teams and going through them. I'm kind of interested to see how the White Sox are doing. So yeah, that's pretty much for the White Sox. Then the Cleveland Indians. Shane Bieber having a very good year, 2.72 ERA. Jose Ramirez, Kyle Schwarber was their new addition in the offseason. One of the big splashes, and was with Texas for a little over a year, and he did really, really well. 43 home runs last year, which is a career high. 100 RBIs, which is a career high. Kind of surprised they didn't keep him, but he was on a 1-year deal, I think. And he signed a multi-year deal with the Indians through 2025. So I think a very good deal for the Indians. I mean, they don't pay a whole lot, but I think this was a good move. He's hitting well, 278, 13 home runs, 36 RBIs. So, yeah, good pickup by the Indians. Marte was there last year. Starlin Castro, that's a new addition. Was with the Nationals last year. Doing well, 290, 8 home runs, 31 RBIs. Signed with them through 2023 on a 2-year deal. So, um, RJ Bradley, I think he's a new addition. Not doing so good. 550, right around 5.5 ERA, so not so good. Already 5 blown saves, 9 saves in total, 0-2. Scott Kingery, or Kingery, whatever you pronounce his name, also a new addition. The Phillies didn't have any room for him, so yeah. Right now he's not doing so well off the bench. A home run and 16 RBIs, 222. Slugging is bad, 308. 12 doubles isn't too bad, but I mean overall it's not too bad. 83, which is a little bit too high, but looks like he's signed there through 2023. So Buster Posey, this is one of the big ones. Left San Francisco, was going to be a free agent. Instead of retiring, went to Cleveland, and now he's with the Indians, and yeah, he's not doing good at all. He's doing worse in Cleveland. Only 2 doubles in 50 games, 1 triple, 1 home run, 7 RBIs. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't strike out a whole lot, but yeah, that's terrible. Average right around 200. Like, it's getting worse and worse for him, so he's probably gonna retire soon. I mean, he's on a 1-year deal, so I would imagine this is his last year. So slugging is terrible, 238. Yeah, he's getting ready to retire, but you know, maybe he's there for the veteran experience. So Dustin Beggs, who's he? So it looks like he might be a prospect for them. Okay, out of Colorado, 382 ERA. So it looks like he's part of the rotation. So it looks like he's doing well for them. Yuli Gurriel. Yeah, no, other than Tim Melville for Meraki. I had him in 2020, but I think I got rid of him. But looks like he's been in the minor league system. He's doing well for them, 395 right now for them. So I think that's it. Other than Kyle Schwarber, they pretty much didn't get a whole lot. Philip Deal, who I had last year, he's now on the Indians. He's part of their bullpen. He's doing a little bit better than he was last year, 4.29 ERA. So good for him. Noel Cuevas, also a former Rocky. So they have some former Rockies on there. So yeah, not a lot of big moves for the Indians other than Kyle Schwarber. Andrew Young, he was sent over to the Indians from the Diamondbacks, and looks like he's, I think, on the roster. So okay, so yeah, let's move on to the next team, which is the Tigers. And you know, again, I don't think they got a lot of big players. I don't think they might have. Oh yeah, I think they did actually. Well, somewhat of a big one, but not really. They got some good prospects though. Screwball, who's going to be up for them pretty soon. Daniel Norris, he's out for a few weeks. He's doing well for them. Let's see here. Matt Dennis from Meraki, he's now part of the rotation. He was in the minor league system, and I think I got rid of him last year. And he came up, and he was doing well. 9 game starts, 2.39 ERA. So looks like he's going to be a part of the rotation. So good job for Matt, but this year not doing so well. 5.86 ERA. So yeah, they have a very young rotation. Alfonso Rivas. Addison Russell, that was their big addition that they got, or one of the big additions, even though he's in a minor league system, in their minor league system now. But yeah, they signed him to a minor league contract, and then now they just looks like they call him down, which doesn't make sense because he's actually doing not so bad in AAA. 3 home runs, 17 RBIs, and 263. But that was one of the big additions. But it looks like he's now in AAA. But yeah, like again, the Tigers didn't make any big splashy moves. So let's move on to the next one, the Royals. I don't think they got anybody either. That's huge. Nick Solak, he was a new addition last year with the Rangers, and I believe he was probably traded last year because it says total. So he was probably with both the Royals and the Rangers last year. So far, he's doing well with the Royals. 1 home run, 15 RBIs. Batting average is pretty good. But he'll get on base, but not very often. Mainly there for the defense. Signed a 1-year deal with them, so. Bobby Witt Jr. Here we go. He's up for them. 206. 21 years of age. Not too shabby. Here, let me update him here. What's his number? Is that his number? 17? Let me look it up. I think he's. Let me look at this. Bobby. Let me type on Google here. Witt Jr. He's number 7. Okay. That's his number. Alright, he's number 7. So let me go over to. Whoops. Let me go back. Okay, there we go. So he's up for them. Let me update him a little bit. Let's go. Kyle Seager, he was a big addition for them. Former Mariner. Surprised he didn't retire, but went to the Royals last year. Had a bad year with Seattle. Didn't hit very well. Lowest in his career, 215. He's injured right now. He's going to be out for a couple months with a torn hamstring. But pardon me, with a torn hamstring. He wasn't doing so bad, but 2 home runs, 14 RBIs. But he's going to be out for a while. 1-year deal. So I imagine this might be his last year in the big leagues, unless if he gets signed by somebody else. But we'll see. Another new addition, Travis d'Arnaud, former Brave. Looks like he's their backup catcher for Salvador Perez, or maybe even a DH spot there, hitting 220. So not so good, but he's only appeared in 18 games, so that's not terrible, but needs to hit a little bit better. Gil Ramirez, I think he was with the Marlins. Okay, last year he was with the Royals as well, so. Keep looking here. Yeah, like a lot of American League teams, other than a few like the Twins and a couple others, made some big moves. Former Rocky Daniel Murphy, who signed a minor league deal with the Royals in the offseason. He was with the Mariners last year. Did pretty well with them, actually. 13 home runs, 78 RBIs. 1-year deal with the Royals, but it looks like he's going to be on their minor league system. But he's on the 40-man roster, so if somebody gets injured, he'll be up for them. Let's see. Yeah, he's going down. His overall 67, so that's not too good. And plus, he's 37, so I wouldn't imagine him being around very long. Yeah, let's move on. Okay, the Twins. Yeah, this is probably going to this year the World Series favorites to win the World Series in 2022 on MLBTS20. They got Chris Bryant from the Cubs, who had an MVP type season. I mean, you take a look at these numbers. It's absolutely incredible. Like, wow. Kind of helped the Cubs go to the. Well, actually, he did help the Cubs go to the World Series last year. 34 home runs, 114 RBIs, which is a career high, I believe. Yep. 325 batting average, another career high. He's going to help that Twins team, and looks like he already has 13 home runs, 49 RBIs, 320 batting average. Like, he's having another MVP type season. Like, the OPS is crazy. Let's take a look at his WAR here, just for fun. It's a little bit lower than last year, but still a very good WAR. Walk percentage is a little bit down. Strikeout percentage actually has gone down. So, but yeah, the Twins got a really good player, and I won't be surprised if the Twins win the World Series. But yeah, the Twins got MVP player in Chris Bryant, and then they also got another MVP player, Freddie Freeman from the Braves, on a deal through 2026. Let me go back to Bryant. Let me see what his contract is through 2027. Man, he's getting paid a lot of money, but he deserves it though. But yeah, Freddie Freeman, he's having another good year. 13 home runs, 51 RBIs, 316 batting average, 361 games. So he's having another good year. So yeah, he should be happy, and yeah, sure he is. But yeah, this is a very good lineup in the Twins. Like, this is probably going to be a World Series team, perhaps. I mean, last year they were already a good team, but they didn't make the World Series. They were playing against the Astros last year. So last year they got Ohtani in a trade with the Angels. Yeah, his pitching is still not so good, but offensively, 263, 4 home runs, 11 RBI, so not too bad. But Josh Donaldson having a little bit of a down year, but he should be fine. Marcus Semien also having a down year. But, I mean, we have some MVP type players. Arise hitting 347, man. Last year hit 351. Still young. Like, yeah, this Twins team is going to be really, really good this year. Their pitching is still elite. 247 ERA from Devin Smeltzer. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Yeah, he's been an elite pitcher ever since he came up. So he's going to be a big help for them if they make the playoffs of the World Series. Joseph Austin, let me update him a little bit. Yeah, some of these players I'm going to have to update, like with their faces and all that. I'll do that later. Stashik, doing pretty well even though he's been in for 13 innings. Last year had a good year. This year, so far, having a good year as well. 135 ERA. That's pretty good. Yeah, like they have a very, very good team. Very underrated roster, but still a MVP type of roster here. Let me update his hat as well. But yeah, I expect the Twins to be a very, very good team this year, and I think they already are if we look at the standings. But yeah, I would fully expect this Twins team to be a World Series team. Like, that's what they do. Like, they add all these MVP. Like, look at that: Chris Bryant, Freddie Freeman, Whit Merrifield. Like, this is a all-star studded lineup. Moving on to the Angels, I think they made some moves. They weren't huge, but they did make some moves. Trout having another very good year, 21 home runs, 42 RBIs. Rendon, Meadows, Taylor Rogers. Was he a new addition? That was last year. Brian Dozier, that's a new addition from the Padres. He's not doing so well with Anaheim, 197. Yeah, not doing so well. I think part of it might be age. He's 34. Signed a 2-year deal with them, but former Dodger Donovan Casey looks like he's a part of their outfield now. Not bad. 5 home runs, 32 RBIs. He's a young player for them, so. They update him a little bit. just a little bit more. Let me update some sleeves here. There we go. Let's do that. There we go. Adam Eaton, he's a new addition as well. Last year with the Cubs, had a good year. 22 home runs, 74 RBIs. In terms of home runs, I think that's a career high for him. Yeah, it was. He's 33, so he's with the Angels now. 246 average right now. 7 home runs, 30 RBIs. So he's having a decent year. Let me take a look at his WAR. He's a 1.5 win player, so that's gone down a little bit. Signed a 1-year deal, so. Chris Davis is on the IL. That's huge for them. Unfortunately, yeah, not a lot of big moves for them either. Brent Honeywell Jr. He was with the Rays, I think, last year. Yeah, he was. Doing a little bit better for the Angels this year. Yeah, let's move on to the Athletics. Yeah, like some of these teams, like other than the Twins, not a lot of teams in the American League made a lot of moves. Jordan Montgomery, though, I think he was a new addition. Yeah, I think he came via trade last year. So far, he's doing well with the Athletics. 3-3 with a 3.14 ERA. His walks are kind of higher than he would like, but still doing pretty well. They just need him to stay healthy, and he should be fine. Good starting pitcher for them. Frankie Montas, he's having an okay year for them. Last year was really good. 374. Sean Doolittle, former Twin, played with the Twins last year. He's now back with the Athletics for the first time since 2016 or 2017. I think he was traded in 2017. So, yeah, he's had good numbers with the Athletics, and looks like he's having a very good year this year as well. He's more of a contact guy, but he does have 13 strikeouts, so that's pretty good. So yeah, good year for Doolittle. Kevin Kramer, I think that's a new addition. He was with the Pirates last year. He's doing good. 276, 6 home runs. So yeah, maybe I think the Pirates are just trying to get rid of some of their guys, but they already have a somewhat of a decent team in Pittsburgh. So I think they're just getting rid of some of their payroll. And Kevin Kramer so far doing good with the Athletics. So Mitch Keller, I think he was also with the Pirates. He was last year with Oakland. He wasn't so good, but he's in AAA right now, and he's doing good. 2.69 ERA, as you can see up there. Zach Britton, was he with anybody last year? Okay, he was with the Blue Jays last year. He was good, and so far he's doing good this year as well. In their bullpen, 3.42 ERA. The walks could go down, but other than that, I mean, he's doing good for Oakland. Jorge Mateo. Let me see if he needs updating. Let me update the chin guard here. I think in real life he has one. So yeah, there you go. Mike Tauchman, I think he was with the Yankees last year. Or no, he was with Oakland, but looks like he's down for them. So yeah, that pretty much does it for the A's. They did get David Fry from the Brewers. So he got picked up in free agency. Brad Boxberger, that's another new addition. Last year with San Diego was terrible, and this year he's been terrible as well. So yeah, not so good. Ever since 2018, he hasn't been good at all. Was with the Royals in 2019, minor league system for some team. My guess probably Kansas City or San Diego, and then yeah, or Miami, probably Miami, because in the picture he's with Miami, so he's probably with the Marlins. So yeah, he hasn't been good for the past few years. Kelvin Herrera, he was with Pittsburgh last year, now with Oakland. He's been an elite reliever for the past few years, so yeah, so he's having a good year. So the Athletics, they have a decent bullpen actually. Dalton Jeffries, okay. Okay, let's move on to the Mariners. Carl Edwards Jr. Was he with anybody? Okay, the past few years with the Mariners. Brandon Morrow. Okay, this is his first year with the Mariners. Brandon Morrow, last year with the Indians, 4.10 ERA. This year, 0.73 with the Mariners. 81 overall. It's lowered, but still, he's having an elite year. Like, whip of 1.09. Like, he's elite. 18 saves. Probably got to be one of the best closers in baseball right now. But, like, compared to last year, he's having an elite year. He's always been a good relief pitcher. Okay, he was with the Mariners in 2007 to 2009. He was okay for them, especially in 2008. He was pretty good, but yeah, he's having a very good year in his renewing year with the Mariners. Signed a 1-year deal with them. Wouldn't be surprised if he's an all-star, probably. Danny Mendick, former White Sox, he's now with the Mariners. He's with them now, 264. Tim Lopes, let me update him just to be sure. Let me update Chingard. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I don't see a lot of additions to this team that they made in the offseason. Jared Kelnick, who is one of their top prospects, he's up now for them. 269, 3 home runs, 22 RBIs, so not too bad in 45 games. And he's only 22, so pretty impressive there. Gilbert, Aiken. That's pretty much it. Looking at the Rangers, Trevor Bauer, he's still on the Rangers. He signed a multi-year contract a couple years ago, or I should say a year ago, so he's going to be with them through 2025. Last year had a very good year. Well, I should say not very good. Originally he had a very good year, then he kind of slowed down at the end of the season. But so far, so good for Trevor Bauer, 3.35 ERA. So looks like he's happy there. So Kevin Kiermaier still on there. Like the Rangers are trying to build a good team, and Michael Busch, 380. That's pretty good, especially in his first year up in the big leagues. Could be a Work of the Year candidate, possibly. We'll see. Let me look at that. I think he might have been in the Dodger organization, maybe. I don't know. Randall Grichuk with the Rangers this year. Okay, he was with the Rangers last year. Had a good year. So, was he ever with the Rangers before that? No. So just St. Louis and Toronto, and now with the Rangers. Cole Tucker, former Pirate, now with the Rangers. Signed during the offseason. Signed a 2-year deal. Brady Singer, former Royals. This is his second year with the Rangers. I thought he was probably with their minor league system with the Royals, and they just didn't like him. So far, he's doing really well with the Rangers. 2.74 ERA, and he's a part of the rotation now. So the Rangers rotation is actually pretty good with Lance Lynn and Trevor Bauer in there. Pretty sneaky good. Mikey Yastrzemski last year with San Diego. Only played 52 games last year, but this year he's a regular outfielder for them. So, ever since he left San Francisco, he hasn't been good. 232 batting average. So, I mean, he is 31, but you still expect him to have at least somewhat better numbers than this, right? I I mean, last year he didn't play a full year because he was with the Padres minor league system for most of the year, but he'll probably wake up eventually. Astudillo, he's going to be out for a week or so with the sprain. I think he's coming back, but got picked up from the Twins. Chichi Gonzalez, former Rocky, re-signed with the Rangers, to which he used to be a Ranger back in 2016 and 2015. Yeah, pretty much the same as last year, 4.45 ERA. But, good luck to him on that. Hunter Cole, who was Rookie of the Year back in 2020, he's back up with them. 293, 3 home runs, so in 10 games, I should say. So that's pretty good. Matt Duffy back with the Rangers after being with Arizona last year on a 1-year deal. Robbie Grossman, also new to the Rangers, was with the Royals last year. Signed a 1-year deal as well. Pat Valleca, I think he was with the Orioles last year. Now he's with the Rangers. So yeah, the Rangers made some small moves this past offseason. Now going to the Astros. So we're starting to get close to the National League. So don't worry. Here's Bregman, Alvarez. The Astros did make a number of moves this offseason, even though they won the World Series. Most notably, John Gray, former Rocky. Got rid of him because I'm rebuilding, like I said earlier. So far this year, not doing so good. 4.96 ERA with them. Strikeout numbers are good, but WHIP is up. ERA is up. 6-3 record is good, but John Gray was better with the Rockies. Ever since 2019 on up, he's been good with the Rockies, but this year not doing so good. He's signed with them through 2027, so he's going to be a big part of the rotation for the next generation of Astros coming up. Looks like he's happy there, but just that he doesn't like his performance, so he likes it there. Carlos Correa looks like I think he re-signed during the offseason on a mega contract. Yeah, it's 2026, so he's going to be an Astro probably for the rest of his career, maybe. But he's not doing quite so good. The average is good, but offensively, numbers, 5 home runs to 41 RBIs is not so good. He'll probably wake up, though. Or this year might be just a down year. New addition, Carlos Martinez from the Cardinals. Cardinals didn't re-sign him, which is kind of interesting, but last year with St. Louis, he was good, 3.55 ERA, but this year, ERA kind of up, WHIP is up. But, the Astros, they needed, rotation depth, especially with Verlander now out with an injury, and now he's a free agent. So, James Paxton, also a new addition, former Tampa Bay Ray. Last year with the Rays, he was good, 3.89 ERA, 215 strikeouts, which is pretty impressive. The walks, though, has to come down. 79 walks, that's a lot. So far this year, he's been good with the Astros. 3 ERA, 83 strikeouts. So, yeah, he's been good. But this is what the Astros plan to do. They wanted to add some rotation depth, and they got it. But, yeah, they got Yan Gomes from the Nationals, and it looks like he might be somewhat of their backup catcher or starting catcher. Hitting 239, 2 home runs, so just there for the veteran presence. So Dominic Leon with the Indians last year was pretty good. This year he's okay, not too bad, especially in the bullpen. Miles Straw, Josh Ames, Jeremy Pena still down. Brian O'Grady, former Padre last year, I think. Or no, I thought he was with the Padres, but apparently he was with the Rays. Not the Rays. Well, he was with the Rays in 2020, but with the Astros last year. Yeah, like, they have a lot of young guys in the rotation, like Armamenteros, who was not so good in the postseason last year, but he's shown some good numbers, especially when he was in the minor leagues. But last year he was actually kind of good for ERA, 14-10, helped them make the playoffs. But we'll see. Yimi Garcia, another addition, kind of came last year as a trade. So far, so good with the Astros for Yimi Garcia. Daniel Perez, who is a prospect for them. He looks pretty promising. Going down. But yeah, like most notably, the Astros made a lot of their moves in the rotation. Framber Valdez, looks like he has been down for a couple of years, so we'll move on to now the National League with the Braves. They still have Mookie Betts. Acuna is having a somewhat of a down year, even though his average is good. A lot of players are average. Their average is good, but they're just having down years in terms of RBIs and home runs. They got Roberto Perez from the Guardians, or I should say the Indians, or vice versa. He's a backup catcher for them. Hasn't played much, but he's done well. 320 batting average, a home run, 6 RBIs in 16 games. So doing a lot better than what he was with the Indians. James McCann from the Phillies. He signed a 1-year deal with the Phillies. Looks like he's now with the Braves on a 1-year deal as well. Looks like he's their main catcher. 63 games, 1 home run, 16. Like offensively, like a lot of players are having good years in terms of batting average and on-base percentage and slugging, but their totals, like home runs and doubles and RBIs, are not so good. He's getting a lot of walks though, which is good. But let me edit his batting gloves here. I don't know if he has batting gloves or not. No, he doesn't. So let's give him some batting gloves. All right. So we'll do that. Yeah, I like that. So we'll do that. D. Gordon, former Cub. He's been with them for a little bit. Last year with the Cubs, good year. Helped them reach the World Series this year. 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, 263. He's bounced around with a few teams over the past few years. So, moving down, Yonder Alonso. Who was he with last year? He was with, I think, the Yankees last year, and then now he's with the Braves. It looks like he's a regular player for them, too. He might be their first baseman. It looks like he is. Instead of Freddie Freeman. And, not so good if you want to replace Freddie Freeman. But he has veteran presence there. He's 34, but, yeah, like, this is not the greatest move if you're the Braves, if you're intending to replace Freddie Freeman, but I don't know. Going down the roster here, Xavier Edwards, who is a prospect for them. He's out to somewhat of a slow start, but he'll get used to it. 22 years of age. So, trying to move quickly here. Patrick Weigel, however you pronounce his name. Second year with the Braves, having a much better year so far. 3.68 ERA out of the rotation. He's got to limit walks. Look at that. 105 walks last year. That's got to be like close to a record or what. But walks got to come down. But he's one of their top pitching prospects. So I think that will do it with the Braves. So yeah, moving on. Let's move on to the next team. The Miami Marlins, which is an interesting team. Patrick Corbin, former Washington National, now with the Marlins, spent a few years with the Nationals, was good for them. So far, he's doing good for the Marlins. 2.88 ERA, 4-5 for them. It'll be interesting to see how the Marlins are doing overall. Jose Castillo from the Padres last year, he's doing not bad but not great. Helping them out in the bullpen. Jordan Yamamoto, 461. You hope that comes down if you're a Marlins fan. Alfaro, he's still there. Kike Hernandez, Jahmai Jones, I think he's a new addition. He is. Well, this is his first major league call up. So it looks like he was with the Angels minor league system for a while. They never called him up, so now he looks like he's with the Marlins and he's being used. So good for him. Oh yeah, let's update that. There we go. I like that. There we go. Much better. So this is his rookie season. Luis Diaz, Sixto Sanchez having a decent year. C.J. Abrams, Padres. So I think there was probably a trade. That's why we see Jose Castillo. That was probably a deal with them. He's on the IL. He's got to be one of their better prospects. But he's hurt though. Let's update his bat a little bit. I'm going to update his bat if you don't mind. There we go. I like that. Much better. Dum T. Williams. Looks like they're suffering with some injuries. Isan Diaz, one of their top prospects from 2019. I mean, he's off to a much faster start, which is good, and his average is getting better, and so I think he's just going to get better. His overall is going up, which is good. Potential is A, so he's going to be a good player for them. And if you take a look at his MLB service, he's only had really 2 full years, so you gotta like that. So he'll probably get better. Mitchell Jordan, I think a prospect for them. He's doing good. The Marlins have some very good pitching prospects, so it looks like he's doing well for them. Let me update his equipment a little bit. What looks like I already did originally, so yeah, Dylan File, who was up for them last year, I think he was 34 starts, which doesn't make sense. They probably had at one point a 4-man rotation. That's probably the reason why. Looks like he's down for them. Cody Hoisey, or whatever, however you pronounce his name. Yeah, the Marlins, they're pretty much basing all their players off of their minor league system. They were in rebuild mode, so I think they're still going through that right now. But yeah, they're gonna get better. But I think they're gonna have to build around Patrick Corbin in the rotation. I'll have to update a lot of these players. That's why I'm doing this, so I can remember which players I can work on. Yeah, let's update that. Texture, let's fix that. There we go. Let's do black and let's do blue. Yeah, let's do that. Corey Brewer. But yeah, they have some good prospects like Nick Neidert. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's one of their top pitching prospects. They have some very good pitching prospects. Lucius Fox, he's up for them last year with Tampa, now with the Marlins. Monte Harrison, he's also up for them as well. So yeah, the Marlins, they're pretty much going through a rebuild right now, so we'll see what happens with them. Moving on to the Nationals, they got one of the best players in the game, in Christian Yelich. Spent a lot of years with the Brewers, but kept getting injured. The past 2 years, he got injured, especially in 2020. But very good numbers. He could have been MVP. He could have been an MVP candidate, but he just kept getting injured. And I think so far he's been healthy. So far so good with the Nationals. 16 home runs, 53 RBIs, 330 batting average. He's one of the baseball's best hitters. Still young, 30 years of age. Overall 90. It's going down though, but this is the height of his career probably. So. Maybe the Nationals can make a run here, especially with the players that they have, like Juan Soto, who's having a very good year. 17 home runs, 58 RBIs, and 309. Blake Snell didn't like the Marlins. I don't know. It might have been a 1-year deal anyway, but didn't have a good year with them, and I think he probably didn't like it in Miami. Spent a part of it to finish off 2020. Spent a lot of years with the Rays, especially being a prospect of them. but now he's with the Nationals, and he's gotten worse. ERA right around 5. So, I mean, you take a look at his record last year, 2-18. That's terrible. One of the worst records by a starting pitcher in baseball last year, if not the worst. This year, record's better, but still not good at all. Like, he's just, his overall is going up. I mean, he still has potential, but like, he's not been great. But we'll see what happens. I mean, yeah. Steven Strasburg having an elite season, like ERA 2.22. That's very, very good. You know, especially with Steven Strasburg being healthy the past couple of years, that's going to help your team. Most likely, I would imagine the Nationals are doing well. We'll see. Max Scherzer having a good year, 3.25 ERA. Last year was injured for, part of the season. 3.25 ERA is still pretty good, even though his age is 37. Still an elite pitcher. That Nationals rotation is pretty good. You just need Blake Snell to turn around a little bit. But yeah, the Nationals didn't make a whole lot of moves other than Blake Snell. Wilmer Depot, he's up for them. He's having a much better year than last year. Manny Pena, he's an addition from the Brewers, a backup catcher, but he's injured right now for the week. But he's hitting 300. Colton Wong, last year, he was a free agent because he was a part of the Arenado deal with the Cardinals, with Colorado. Signed a quick minor league deal with the Rockies. Then the Rockies released him, and nobody picked him up. But now he's with the Nationals, and he is doing well. 292, no home runs, but hopefully that goes up for them. So good pickup for the Nationals. Whoops. They got Tucker Barnhart, so they got a lot of catchers. Former Cincinnati Red is doing well with the Nationals. 6 home runs, 17 RBIs, so good for Tucker. Jake Dykman, like, their bullpen though looks kind of bad, not gonna lie. We'll take a look at that. Tanner Roark is back after a scary injury last year with the Blue Jays. Got hit in the head on a line drive. Yeah, ever since then he's not been that great. 4.50 ERA. It's not terrible, but it's not regular Tanner Roark. But maybe we'll get it down. Whip is about normal, so let's go down. Ryan Harper, he's doing good in the bullpen, I guess. Yeah, 369. That's pretty good. Kevin Gausman, I don't know why they called him down, because last year was with the Nationals, was terrible. He was mostly in the rotation, but kind of started, in the bullpen. But he's got one start this year, and he's not doing so bad. 405, maybe he'll get better there. Spent only one season with the Giants, so what did he do? He wasn't good with the Giants, so. He has Manny Tomas with the Nationals last year with the Mariners. Was good with Seattle, but looks like he's now with the Nats. Keep moving down. Ooh, Joe Ross, man. Not so good. 13 ERA in just 2 games. All that makes sense. 2 innings pitched, but I don't know. Maybe he'll have a good year, but last year didn't pitch, so maybe that's a part of it. Trace Barria, one of their top catching prospects, not doing so good. So that's pretty much it for the Nationals, I think. Actually their bullpen might not be so bad, except a few guys, but actually their bullpen is actually kind of good. Whoop. Oh man, I'm gonna have to do that. Let's go back here. There we go. So next, let's go to the Mets. Jacob deGrom having another elite season. ERA under 2. That's got to be good for the Mets. Lindor, which is interesting in real life. Lindor is on the Mets, and Lindor went on the Mets on here. So first year with the Mets, 249, a little bit lower. 12 home runs, 30 RBIs. Noah Syndergaard, actually he's having a pretty good year. So the rotation for the Mets looks pretty good. Marcus Stroman, someone having a down year, but Mets rotation overall doing pretty well. Odorizzi, 219, that's actually pretty good. That's the lowest so far in his career, I think. Yeah. So far so good for Jake Odorizzi. So good job for him. going back. Pete Alonso, 231, 14 home runs. McNeil. Yeah, the Mets, I don't think they made any big moves as well. Yeah, they didn't. I don't think they made any big moves. Brandon Marsh. He was with the Mets last year. Brett Beatty, top prospect. He should be up probably the next year or two, I'm guessing, for them. Andrew Vaughn, that's one addition they got from the White Sox. But he never made his debut with the White Sox, even though he was a highly thought of prospect for the White Sox. But now he's with the Mets. But yeah, like, not a lot of moves by the Mets, which it's kind of unfortunate because they haven't made the playoffs the past number of years. Franklin Kilome, he's a part of the rotation, I think. But yeah, like, not a lot of big moves for the Mets, so let's move on to the Phillies, who surprised a lot of people last year, who went to the NLCS. Aaron Nola looks like he's injured, but he's having a good year. 261. Jock Peterson's still there. Jose Urena looks like that's a new addition. He was with the Yankees last year. He's having a good year with the Phillies. Tanner Tully, I think this is his first year. It is. 3.36 ERA. So far, so good for them. They need a good rotation to help them. Zach Wheeler, he's having a bad year. Over 7.5 ERA last year. Well, he was injured last year for most of last year, and this year so far not so good. So hopefully he turns that around because he's actually a very good pitcher. Look at that ERA, 1.89 ERA in 2020. Like, that's really good. I'm surprised the Phillies didn't make the playoffs in 2020, but yeah, he needs to turn it around. Robertson is still there. Spencer Howard, who was a good pitcher for them last year, well, at least in the postseason, he's doing pretty well for them this year. He's out for the next 2 months. Eflin, he is not doing so well either. Let me fix him here. Let's fix that there. 2 starts this year, not so good. Last year he was out. I think he was either injured or he might have been injured or in the minor league system. But overall in his career, not been that great. So Vince Velasquez, I don't know why he's down, but maybe, like, he's been down for the past couple of years, so they should call him up. Thomas Stella, he's a new addition. He was with the Angels, I think, last year. He was with 2 teams. He was with the Angels and with somebody else. He might have been with the Giants. I don't know. I forget. But so far, he's doing good with the Phillies. Bryson Stott, he's up top infield prospect last year. Yeah, he's doing all right. Yanni Hernandez, I think he might be a young prospect. Well, he was originally with the Blue Jays last year, but he's now with the Phillies. Hernan Perez, he was with the with the Royals last year. He's now with the Phillies, originally with the Brewers and then the Tigers. Adam Hazley, he's back with them. Josh Young prospect for them. Look him up. And fixed his socks there. Save that. Moving down, that's pretty much it. The Phillies didn't do much. I mean, it doesn't make sense that they would do much because, I mean, they'll most likely possibly be a playoff team if everything goes right. They just have to avoid injuries like Noah and Spencer Howard, and they should be able to make it maybe if they're. Kirby Yates not having a good year. That's not good. Last year he was good, but not so well this year. They need some good pitching. But they do have catching depth with Chris Herman and Davey Grion. And now James McCann is out. They need some depth there. They got Jonah Heim. Let's move on to the Cubs. Move on to the Cubs here. The Cubs, they did add some pieces, and this is the defending National League champions. So let's keep looking. Michael Conforto is now a Cub. Let's see how he's doing. He's doing good with the Cubs, so good for him. Yeah, again, not a lot of moves, but they did make some moves, and I'm trying to go through here. They got Taijuan Walker, who was with the Mariners last year. He's part of their rotation. Christian Vasquez, who was with the Nationals last year. It looks like he's a backup catcher for the Cubs. Canario, he's back, who was a top prospect for them last year. Michael Wacha is now with the Cubs. He's been moving around recently for the past few years with different teams. Last year wasn't so good, but this year he's doing okay. He had one start, but he's in the bullpen for them. Nico Horner, young prospect for them. Didn't play last year, but he's back this year. 4 home runs, 13 RBIs, so he's doing good for them. Let me check up on him. Let me add a chin guard for him as well. There we go. Brad Miller, former Phillies infielder. So now he's with the Cubs. Yeah, like he's been bouncing around a little bit as well. But Brent Suter, former Brewers, this was a good move. He's doing good so far with the Cubs in their bullpen. 2.70 ERA, so good signing for them in their bullpen. Let's keep moving down. Ian Miller, who I think is probably a prospect for them. Let's get him there. Yeah, he was a top prospect for a while. Well, not top prospect, he was a prospect, but he did make his debut with the Twins in 2019. Was out for a while and now back. He's doing good with the Cubs. 2 home runs, 253 in 22 games, so that's not too bad. 29 years of age. He is injured. He's going to be out for probably the rest of the year, 5 to 6 months, with the tendon injury, the torn Achilles. Albert Alzolay. They have some injuries here, which is unfortunate. Keep moving down here. I think. Okay, they did get Lucas Duda, who was also out for the past few years, but he's part of their team now. Probably like in the outfield, but also in the infield. He's kind of versatile, which is a help for them. Tyson Miller not having a good year. I think they got Ben Zobrist back, if I'm correct. Let's look at him before we move on. Ben Zobrist, he's in AA for them, but he came back. So good for him, even though he's 40 years old. I think he's just maybe trying to make a comeback. We'll see. But, so yeah, let's move on to the Reds. They made some pretty good moves this past offseason. Most notably, former Rocky Trevor Story, former Rocky who I let go in free agency. Not doing so well with the Reds. He's having a little bit of a down year. Could be a Coors effect as well, if you want to call it that. But he's probably in transition from Coors to Great American Ballpark. But still, that ballpark is pretty good offensively. 230 batting average. On-base percentage is way down. However, it's a little bit better than it was in 2020. But slugging is down. Let's take a look at his WAR. He's a 1-1 player to which the past few years, this is the lowest his WAR has been. So his walk percentage is gone lower, which is not too good. The strikeout percentage is higher, so that's not good. So Trevor Story not having a great start in Cincinnati, but he'll come around because he signed a multi-year deal with them through 2027. So he's probably, let's see if he gets traded or whatever, he's probably going to stay with the Reds for the rest of his career. So, I mean, he can play second base and third base, so we'll see what he does there. This year, I mean, we're already halfway through the season, pretty much. Kenley Jansen, big addition for them as well. He's their closer, appears 16 saves in 24 games, so 1.90 ERA, very good. Whip under 1, so yeah, very good addition for the Reds, and they might be a playoff team. Again, we'll see the standings in a minute. Anthony Rizzo is still there. Eddie Rosario, who was traded to the Rockies and then got traded to the Reds. So he's now on the Reds. He's pretty much playing regularly with the Reds. 9 home runs, 9 home runs, 26 RBIs for them. Signed a multi-year deal with them as well through 2024. So the Reds are trying to build a winning team together, which is good to see. Willie Adames, he's back for them, but having a slow start. 176, so not so good.
We'll see how that goes.
Jesse Winker still there. Jose Lopez. Tyler Mahle. So yeah, like they have some good pitcher. Nick Lodolo, who came up last year. He's having a good year this year in his sophomore year. Brandon Belt, former Giant. Let me update him. His hat. I don't know. I haven't done that yet. But former Giant left the Giants in free agency and is now with the Cincinnati Reds. Having a slow start, 180. Not so good. Last year had a very good year, as we all know, with the Giants, but was one of their best players with the Giants, and now with the Reds, 37 games. I mean, he's not playing regularly first base, but he might be playing outfield for them, or maybe pinch hitting, but not doing so good in terms of average. Yeah, so hopefully for him he can improve. Long-time Giant, but it's time for him to move on. It's not a one-year deal for them, but it looks like he's not happy, so that's not too good. Michael Ciani, let's see how he looks. Let's update that. Josh Van Meter, former. Well, I think it was with some other team, but I think he's been with the Reds for a while now. As you can see, last year played some good, decent time, so now he's back up with them. Let me update him a little bit. Let me do that. There we go. Let me batting gear. Let's do. There we go. We'll do that. But yeah, other than Trevor Story and Kenley Jansen, maybe another move. They haven't made a whole lot or big splash moves. Jeremy Jeffers, who was with the Cubs last year, he's now with the Reds in their bullpen. They need bullpen help, I think. But yeah, the Reds, they might make a move or two to possibly make the playoffs. We'll see. But pitching seems to be somewhat the problem here. So yeah, let's move on to the Brewers now. And we have a few more before we get to the Rockies. So yeah, let's move to the Brewers. I don't think they made a whole lot. Miguel Sano, he might be a new addition. He was. Okay, last year with the Blue Jays, good year. This year so far, not too bad, but he's still young, so hopefully you see some good stuff from him. Arcia, Broxton, Ryan Healy, who was out for a while from the Mariners. And after that, went to the Brewers. Didn't appear a whole lot in 2020 and last year, but now he looks like he's playing regularly. 4 home runs, 25 RBIs, 256 batting average. So it looks like he's playing first base for them. Keep moving down. Austin Romine, he's catching for them. I'm not sure if it's backing up for Narvaez, probably, but last year with the Angels was okay for him in terms of home run totals, whatever. He's not a home run type of guy, but more like catching depth for them. Scooter Gennett is back for them again. He was out in 2020, but he was back last year, and then this year. Okay, that makes sense. Narvaez, he's out for a few more weeks with the fractured shin, but yeah. Corey Ray, a top prospect for them. So yeah, they didn't make a whole lot of moves, except they got Aaron Loop from the Diamondbacks, who was okay with Arizona last year, so he's part of their bullpen now. Matt Adams, Tyler Black. So yeah, like not a lot of moves for the Brewers. So yeah, let's move on to the next team, which will be the Pirates. The Pirates, I think, as of right now, if I remember correctly, I think they might be a wild card potential team, or if not in the wild card spots right now. So good for them. I think Kella, is he new? No, he's been with them for the past few years. Brantley came last year. Brian Reynolds still there. Gurriel, okay. Gurriel was with the Blue Jays, I think, if I get that correctly, if I get the Gurriel brothers correctly. Gurriel, yep, he was with the Blue Jays. Like, this is a very good hitter. They got a very good hitter. 285 already. This is the highest he's ever been in his career. 12 home runs, 38 RBIs. Like, this is really good, and he's going to be with them for another year after this year, and then plus he has arbitration. But he's going to be with the Pirates for at least a couple years, so you got to like that if you're a Pirates fan. So yeah, like, the Pirates looks like they're 38-30, so wow. So once again, we'll look at the standings in a minute. Just looking at some of the newer additions, or just check up on the Pirates. MJ Melendez, who is a top catcher prospect in real life and also right here, so update him right there. Let me look at his catching gear. There we go. Keep going down. Seth Brown from the Athletics. He's now on the Pirates, apparently. 254. Okay, so yeah, not the great, but whatever. They have some other guys that can help him offensively. Let's add a chin guard there. But yeah, this Pirates team could be sneaky good. Didi Gregorius, another addition who they got from the Nationals last year, who was with the wildcard team, and he's hitting 259 for them. So he's been with both the Phillies and the Pirates. So he's on the 1-year deal with them. John Murphy, Chris Harsher, where's he been? Okay, he's been with the Pirates for a while. Moving down, Jake Shiner. Apostle, top prospect for the Rangers, now with the, like, Apostle didn't he win like Rookie of the Year or something last year with the Rangers? Apparently he's now on the Pirates and hitting 241, 2 home runs, so let's update him there. There we go. So there we go. Travis Jankowski's now on the Pirates, but he's been pretty much out for the entire year with the ankle problem. Did play some games, but didn't do so well. Only got one hit. Tough luck for him. Brock Holt looks like he's in the minor league system. O'Neal Cruz. Did he play last year? He did. Okay. Top prospect for them. But yeah, they have some depth here. The Pirates could be a very good team, potentially. Birdie having a good year, it looks like. Let me add that there. So I think that will do it for the Pirates. Now let's move on to, hold on, let's fix popping here. There we go. So let's go to the Cardinals. Arenado. Hitting 311, so a little bit higher than he was last year. Hit 271 last year, 9 home runs, 38 RBIs. So his RBIs are going up, which is good. Last year they're kind of lower than what you expect from these years with the Rockies, but it was higher than 2020. 40 strikeouts. So yeah, he doesn't strike out a whole lot, so that's a good thing for Arenado. So good for him. Yeah, I don't think the Cardinals made a lot of moves either. Paul DeYoung, Mike Minor, I think that might have been a newer addition. I think it was, yeah. So he's now part of the rotation. Not doing so great. ERA close to 5, so not too good. There's some Bader. Josh Begley, that's a new addition as well. Is he the regular catcher now, I'm assuming? It looks like he is. Because Yadier Molina, I don't think he's there anymore, if I'm correct. And Carlson, Billy Hamilton. That's another new addition, Billy Hamilton. For them. So they did get Billy Hamilton. Keep moving down. They didn't make any notable huge additions to their team. Farrah Shaw looks like he's now on the Cardinals as well. Former Blue Jay. Justin Turner. not doing good at all. Ender Kisner. So yeah, the Cardinals didn't make any huge splashy moves. And I mean, this team almost made the wild card last year, so we'll see what happens with them. Now, heading to the National League West, we got the Arizona Diamondbacks. I don't think they made any huge moves either. They did get Brandon Lowe from the Rays, but he's going to be out for a couple months with a fractured wrist. 252, so he's hitting somewhat well for them, but only 2 home runs, 16 RBIs, so not doing so good, and they need his bat. So but the pitching might be good, I think. Maybe we'll see. Jose Peraza, okay, now he's on. Looks like there was a trade from Boston to Arizona, probably. I'm assuming that's where he originally was at the beginning of the year. So now he's on the Diamondbacks. So he's number 3. Okay. Okay. All right. We see you, Arizona. Lopez having a good year. Ahmed, he's out. Okay. 1 to 2 months fractured wrist. That's not too bueno. 317 RBIs. Jose Iglesias. Looks like he's with Arizona still. Anzo Robles. This was a sneaky good signing. However, he's not doing so well with Arizona. 5.19 ERA. Was kind of supposed to be their closer. Looks like he was in a trade as well this year from the Angels to the Diamondbacks. Christian Robertson is up for them, top prospect from last year. Kevin Crone, Seth Beer. Keep going down. Michael Gigliotti, who is a top prospect for them. He's up. So yeah, the Diamondbacks didn't make any huge moves at all either. They did get Kirk Casale though for catching. He's kind of like a backup catcher for them, but hasn't appeared very much. Corbin Carroll, he's up for them, but he's not doing so good. But yeah, the Diamondbacks, we'll see how they're doing for them. But okay, moving on to my Rockies. I made some additions with Domingo Santana, but Delano DeShields, Jason Kitness apparently is on the Rockies now. I didn't make that move, so they probably signed him anyway. Again, I'm not really working on the rosters as much, but okay, he took Trevor Story's number, which is fine, I guess. But with the Rockies, especially at Coors Field, he's actually not doing so good. Is he happy? He's whatever on a one-year deal. But Brady Galvis, he's with me. He's actually doing okay. 242, 8 home runs. No, excuse me, 9 home runs, 9 home runs, 29 RBIs. So not too bad. So yeah, I made some additions, but my Rockies team isn't looking extremely well right now. Toglia. Again, I'm pretty much rebuilding right now, but I'm letting some of my younger prospects make their debut. Togia looks pretty good, especially as a young rookie. I don't know why they have those 2 guys there down, but whatever. John Gant is only been in for like 3 innings, 2 or 3 innings, and he's been good, I guess. Thought he would be in more than that, but whatever. Chris Russin in his first year back with the Rockies because he was out for a couple years. He's actually doing well for me in the bullpen, 3.90 ERA. So I like Chris Russin when he was with us, and that's why I got him originally. Luis Diaz is apparently down. Joe Panic is on the Rockies. Okay. Who's he with last year? Okay, he's been around the minor leagues for a while. Julio Teheran. Greg Bird. Jameson Hanna, he's up. So yeah, like pretty much my Rockies are going through a rebuild right now. Castellani's actually doing quite well. He seems promising. He's been a part of the rotation. He's doing well. Ben Bowden apparently is in the rotation as well. He made 1 start. Okay, that doesn't make sense, but whatever. So yeah, that's my Rockies. Not any huge additions really. Ashton Godot, is he in the rotation? he's gotten some starts, and yeah, not so good. Not so good. But Austin Gomber, he's been good in Double-A, so yeah, that's the Rockies. Then the Dodgers, as you can see, not a lot of additions either. Yeah, so not a lot of additions there. I don't think they got any notable additions. So Matt he's been there. So yeah, the Dodgers, not a lot of additions there. So yeah, let's move on. Padres, I think they got one or two, or a few guys that were somewhat okay, and that's kind of notable. Mackenzie Gore, he's still down. I'm trying to find him. Hosmer's out. That's unfortunate. Eric Sogard, he's a new Padre this year. He's doing good, I guess. I mean, 2020 he won the batting title, I think, that year with the Brewers. But last year with the Braves did well, and so far he's doing okay. Pretty good for the Padres, so we'll see what the Padres do. As far as I know, I think they're leading the National League West, which we'll take a look in just a minute. I know I keep saying that, but yeah, I mean, the Padres, they made some notable additions, but I'm trying to find them, or maybe they didn't. I'm just forgetting, but. And then finally, the Giants. The Giants, they didn't make a whole lot of additions, except they got Keon Wong, brother of Colton Wong. He's back with the Giants. I think he was with them in 2020 in their minor league system, but now he's up for them, playing some time with them. Santander, he's back with them after being with the Giants last year. Looks like he's doing good. Brendan Drury, he's with the Giants. Looks like he's playing regularly with them. He can pretty much play anywhere, so that's good. Good versatility. Hitting 243, though, that's pretty good, actually. So yeah, 5 home runs, 24 RBIs. That's pretty much it, I think, for additions. They do have Drew Smiley, but I don't know if he's been up for them. Okay, he has been up for them. 336, I don't know why they called him down, though. Maybe they'll call him back up eventually, but we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty much it for notable free agents signings in the offseason. A lot of them went to like the Twins and the Reds and the Indians and all that. So now let's take a look at the standings in baseball here in June. And once again, I will be streaming, potentially, I will be streaming some of these games in the second half, but most likely I will be streaming the postseason games. But as you can see here, the Padres lead the National League West here in the month of June, 36-29. This National League West division, surprisingly, isn't very good. The pitching staff for the Padres is pretty good, 3 ERA. Offense, though, is not too good. Dodgers offense is good, but pitching is somewhat the problem there. They're 31-34, which is surprising after all these years of the Dodgers doing well. They're actually not doing so good. At home they're 14-17. Away there's at 500, so they need to get better at that. Then you got the Giants, who are tied with them. They're getting better, which last year, in the past few years, they haven't been so good, but they're getting better. At home, they're good. They're above 500, so we'll see what happens there. Then my Rockies were in rebuild mode. At home, we're above 500, but on the road, we're not doing good at all. 13-21. Pitching staff isn't good. The offense is whatever. It's a little bit worse than last year, but it's not too bad. And then we got the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're kind of like the Rockies. They're kind of in rebuild mode. They're kind of similar. Their pitching staff is a little bit better, but yeah, they're both in rebuild mode. So moving on to the National League wildcard. Right now, the two wildcard teams are the Pirates and the Mets. Then you got the Mets. Yeah, the Pirates, they nearly made the playoffs last year. But, maybe this is their year. I mean, it looks like they've done very, very well on the road, especially. They're 24-11 on the road. At home, they're not doing so good. But, yeah, I mean, the Pirates, they might make a playoff spot this year. We'll see. So far in the month of June, they just have to stick it together. Then the Mets, they're actually somewhat better than the Pirates, so we'll see what the Mets do. Their pitching looks pretty good, 3.21 ERA. Their offense looks kind of good. Slugging 409, that's needs to be better, but not terrible. But yeah, the Pirates offense surprisingly is much better than the Mets offense, but we'll see what happens there. The Braves, who went to the NLDS last year, they're right around 500, surprisingly, with their lineup that they have. Like, their lineup looks pretty good. Like, their offense looks decent. Like, 255 batting average. Pitching, though, that's the problem. You can see they're almost 4.5 there. I think that's their ranking. They're ranked 8th. I think, is that in baseball? Or at least in the National League, I'm assuming? Maybe. So yeah, the Braves, their power, 13th in power. Defense is really good for the Braves, as you can see there. Second in defense. Pitching, though, 14th. Oh, so yeah, that's not so good. Their pitching needs to improve. So yeah, that's probably what they're going to hurt them. But yeah, offense might be good, but the pitching has to help them. The Phillies, is, their offense looks pretty good, 261. Pitching, though, ERA 4.25. That could be better. I feel like that's been a no for the Phillies for a long time. At home, the Phillies are not good. 13-22. At home, not good. But on the road, 19-12. So they're still in the conversation. Like, this wild card, these wild card teams, there's like all the way down, all the way to the bottom. There's still potential. Like 8 games behind is not too bad. But we're still in the month of June. But yeah, the Phillies, they need to improve their pitching a little bit. If they can, I think they're still good. I mean, they're right around 500. A lot of these teams are around 500, if you think about it. Dodgers, their pitching is ranked first, but, their ERA, though it says otherwise, maybe it's their bullpen, I don't know. 4.26 ERA. Offense is good, though. Defense, they have the best defense, according to this. Best pitching, power, 3rd, contact, 18th, and speed is 3rd. So we'll see what happens there. Dodgers, surprisingly, not above 500. Dodgers, they got to improve. Giants got to improve. Their offense needs to get a little bit better. The pitching needs to be a little bit better. The Brewers' pitching looks good, 374, but, other than that, I mean, their offense looks kind of good. So, yeah, we'll see there. Rockies, obviously, pitching not so good. Offense needs to be better. Diamondbacks, their pitching needs to be better. Their offense, kind of like the Rockies, like we said earlier. Then the Cardinals, their pitching needs to be better, and their offense, definitely. Well, their offense actually looks kind of good. Slugging 402, on base percentage of 325. That's not too bad. Fielding, yeah. Cardinals, last year nearly made the wild card, so we'll see what happens there. At home, though, like, we're seeing a lot of teams not do so well at home. Cardinals are one of those, 11-25 at home. So yeah, they need to improve on that. Then the Cincinnati Reds, surprisingly, their offense is not good, and their pitching isn't great. For their pitching, they're ranked 21st, and then their defense is 5th. Power is 2nd, so they have some power, but yeah, we'll see what happens there. And then the worst team in the National League right now are the Marlins. Their pitching staff is decent. Their offense needs to be better. 245. So who has the worst offense? So right now it's the Reds. Their offense is the worst according to this in the National League. So that's not too good if you're the Reds, especially if you're playing at a very good offensive ballpark. So quickly going through the Rays. The Rays lead the American League East. Looks like that might be a tight division the rest of the year. Looks like the Orioles are probably going to, again, finish last in that division. Unfortunately for them, having a rough time at home, 10-21. In their division, they're 6-20. They've been beaten up by the American League East. All of these teams, 4 and up, could potentially make the playoffs, if not win the division. So the Rays look good right now. The Yankees look good. The Twins, perhaps the best team in baseball, which I think they are. Look at their offense. 285 offense, slugging 504. Like I said, this is a World Series favorite for sure. They're going to make the playoffs for sure, 100%, and they're probably going to win the division. However, they're kind of up against the White Sox, who the White Sox might make the playoffs this year, but we'll see. The Royals are starting to fall apart. They're 29. excuse me, they're 29-37, and the Tigers are struggling as well. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be up to the White Sox and Twins. The White Sox might make a playoff spot. We'll see. Then the Astros are leading the American League West. Again, it's going to be a close division, but I feel like it's going to be up to pretty much these 4 teams right here. Athletics most likely will finish last in the division. The Mariners have gotten better this year, so look at that 12-game winning streak for the Astros. Like, they're still a very good team, very good offense, especially with a 286 batting average. 8th in contact, 6th in power. So yeah, they're ranked third right now, possibly in the American League, I'm assuming. So moving on to the Chicago White Sox. Yeah, they and the Angels are in the wild card spots, but right now the Yankees, Red Sox, from Royals on up, they could be. However, I don't think the Royals are going to make it the way they're playing. So pretty much, I think from the Royals on down, they're probably not going to make the playoffs. So yeah, Mariners surprising some people. The Indians, they always make a run at the end of the season, so we'll see what happens there. And then the Nationals, who went to the wild card last year, surprisingly, they're actually leading the division by 3.5 games, so good for them. Then you got the Mets, then you got the Braves, Phillies, and the Marlins, who are at the basement of that division. So this one seems like it could be the Nationals division. We'll see. Their pitching looks good. The offense looks good. So maybe this could be a good year for the Nationals. Maybe they'll win the division. We'll see. We're only in the month of June, so we'll find out. But then the National League Central finally is going to be up to the Cubs or the Pirates to possibly win that division, because the Brewers don't look good, even though the pitching staff looks kind of good. Slugging, though, that's not good necessarily. The batting average isn't all that great. Cardinals, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm sure we're going to see what happens, but right now it's up to the Cubs and Pirates, so that's kind of interesting. The Cubs, who won the National League pennant last year, we'll see what they do. They've been playing very well at home as well, so that will do it for today's video. There's the standings. You know what? I'll mute this, and there's the voting. I'll mute this, and I'm going to go through pretty much the stats, the stat leaders, and all that type of stuff. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for watching today's video. I know it was long, but hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of the video as I go through the stats. So, yeah, thanks, guys.